All right, good afternoon, everyone. We're ready to start. Pre-trial, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
All right, good afternoon. State,
Good afternoon, Judge.
good afternoon. All right, we'll begin. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Regina Mincy. This is going to be our Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. And this is a calendar for cases in which individuals have been recently arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused the cases of the offenses brought against them, and the cases have been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge, so we are able to address several matters, including bond, possible arraignment, and a possible plea offer if one has been made by the state at this juncture. Want to state that the SAP reset date will be
June the 6th.
June the 6th. All right. I want to also begin by advising everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as live streamed on YouTube. So govern yourselves accordingly. I want to remind the defendants that you have certain constitutional rights. The first being that you have a right to counsel and you should know who your attorney is at this juncture. I want to also remind you that you have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, the circumstances, or the occurrences of your case can and will be held against you. The state is here and they're listening. So follow the lead of your attorneys. Thank you. Who do we have first, Deputy?
Position number 10, Mrs. Morris.
Okay.
What was
This
the position?
10. This is 24 CR 003240E. Malaya Morris, charged with 1 count of reckless conduct, 1 count of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, and failure to use a crosswalk. Pre-trial?
Yes, Your Honor. One prior arrest cycle. The last arrest was April 13th, 2023 for terroristic threat, and that case appears to be open. The defendant does meet the criteria for level 2, and we will need a co-signer.
Okay.
Judge, I'm
State?
showing that she has 2 other arrests from 2021 theft by receiving. Are you seeing that pretrial? She has 4 cycles from my notes. But it looks like she does have an open felony terroristic threats out of Columbus. Judge, this incident took place May 23rd, 2024. Officers were working a joint detail with APD, a gang unit, crime suppression unit, the GBI, and Homeland Security. They were all patrolling an area of Parkway Drive in Atlanta, which is an area known for high crime and narcotic sales. The officers were notified by an undercover that there were 3 individuals walking in the middle of the street, and the female, who was later identified as the defendant, had an unsecured firearm in her waistband. The individuals were seen walking through the park located at 400 Merritt's Avenue, which was filled with playing children at the time of this incident. The police tried to approach the 3 individuals and they all began running away. The defendant was observed running into an apartment complex. She was eventually apprehended hiding behind an air conditioning unit, but she did not have a firearm on her person. The officer later found the firearm abandoned in front of the apartment complex where everyone had access to it. The apartment complex was across the street from the park that was filled with children. Unfortunately, I don't have the address of that complex or the name. The firearm that was recovered had a Georgia Department of Revenue special agent emblem on it. However, when the officer ran the gun through The database, it did not come back as reported stolen. Your Honor, as pretrial, and I said there is an open felony terroristic threats case out of Columbus. I don't have the bond order of that case, but I imagine this individual was ordered not to have firearms. Regardless, that firearm clearly doesn't belong to her, given that it had a special agent emblem on it. The state's recommending a $10,000 surety bond. On the reckless conduct count, a signature bond through pretrial on the obstruction and failure to use crosswalk counts, a stay away from the park located at 400 Merritt's Avenue, a stay away from the apartment complex. I don't have that address, but just stay away from apartment complexes around 400 Merritt's Avenue, a firearm safety course, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right.
And Your Honor, I do need to just give you some clarification on the arrest cycles. There is one adult arrest cycle. The rest are juvenile matters.
All right. Thank you. All right. PD Atai?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 18 years old. She has lived in Georgia all her life. She is currently pursuing her GED and working full-time at Publix as a cashier and a bagger. She firmly denies the allegations as stated in the warrant. She was at a celebration with many other people, a graduation celebration. She denies that she owns a gun. I've spoken with her mother, who's on the call right now. She doesn't have a gun, certainly not one that's issued to, I believe the state said, a police officer or an investigator. She's charged with failure to use the crosswalk, willful obstruction, and the reckless conduct for the gun. She firmly denies the allegations. Her last arrest was a year ago, and that case is open. She does maintain her innocence in that case. I would like to ask for a signature bond through pretrial services. As you heard from pretrial, she is recommended for a pretrial services bond at level 2. So I would request for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 2 with the parent co-signer. Her mother is here and willing to make a statement. Her daughter called her at the moment that the officers had singled her out among many other people that were there. And I did speak with her mother about how that call went. And any other conditions, a curfew other than when she's working, staying in school to get her GED. She does plan to also attend trade school and study design, and nothing further.
Judge, if I may clarify one thing. So when she was seen running away from the officers, the undercover noticed that she still had the firearm in her waistband as she ran into the apartment complex. They apprehended her shortly after, and she did not have the firearm. So they went back and looked through the apartment complex and found the gun right after. So just so you're aware, this idea that she was singled out and it wasn't her, they witnessed the firearm on her while they were surveilling her the whole time this was happening.
All right. What's the mother's name?
The mother's name is Mirvan Bell.
And where is she?
She's here on the Zoom.
I'm right here.
All right, she's going to have to, I think I see the spelling of her name. Pretrial would need that. Mirvon and then Bell.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Miss Bell, I'm not for sure that I need to hear from you if you weren't on the scene. But I do understand that you're willing to sign the bond. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I did want to make a correction as far as her Columbus case.
Hold on a second. Hold on a
Okay.
second. Let me swear you in. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, put your hand down. Briefly, quickly tell me, don't incriminate your daughter. So what are you going to tell me about that?
The case is not a felony case with terroristic. That charge was reduced to reckless conduct. I'm not even sure if that case is still open because Columbus has not reached out to us in a year. So I'm not even sure what's going on with that case or if it was bound over, but it's definitely not a felony. And that was actually her first adult cycle that she caught while she was home. Other than that, the rest of her background has now. And recently, with her working, getting in school for and everything like that, she has not been in any trouble. She's actually been well. She's actually tried to turn a 180, do what she's supposed to be doing. I'm going to enroll in design school and only attending a party. When I pulled up to the scene and I was talking to the police officer, he gave very conflicting definitions on as far as a weapon. Malay does not own a weapon. She's not allowed to have a weapon.
Okay, hold on. This is not a trial. This is just a bond hearing.
Right.
And so you
Mhm.
cannot tell me what she told you. Okay, that's hearsay. So, and I don't want to hear what your daughter said to you. I only want to hear things that you know from your personal knowledge. If I were
No,
going to
I
even
didn't say
listen
what
to
my
that.
daughter
I'm sorry.
Okay, no, I didn't say what my daughter said. I was saying, no, I didn't say what my daughter said. I was saying what the officer said when I pulled up to the scene.
Yeah, well, again, I'm not going to hear testimony on that today. Because my concern today is that she will come back to court, she's going to be monitored, and that she hopefully won't get in any more trouble. That is the concern today, that someone will be with her. Have I lost you? Miss Bell? Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
the Zoom
okay.
keeps going in and out.
Yeah, now I'm getting a little bit of every other word with it. Your connection is not great.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go ahead
Apologize.
and rule on this case. I'm going to give her a $5,000 $5,500. So I'm going to make this signature bond through pretrial 5,500, SOB pretrial, which will be 4,000 on the reckless conduct, 1,000 on the willful obstruction, and 500 on the failure to use a crosswalk. So that's a total of 5,500 signature bond through pretrial. And I'm going to have her mom, Miss Bell, will need to be a co-signer on that loan. I'm sorry, sorry about that, on that bond. And she will need to bring her ID to the jail. Also, I'm going to order a curfew. And Miss Morris will need to be in each night by 11 p.m. I'm assuming she can do that. What time does she usually get off at Publix if she works the evening shift?
When she works evening shifts, her latest would be 11 p.m.
Okay. So curfew is 11 p.m. to, I don't know, 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. I'll just make it 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. She needs to be at home in the house. And she must finish and complete her GED program. She must stay away from the apartment complexes around the area of 400 Marist Avenue. And I think or is it Parkway Drive, somewhere around in there. Stay away from 400 Marist Avenue.
And that 400 Merritt's Avenue, Judge, is, I believe the name of it's called Central Park.
Oh, Central Park. Okay.
Mhm.
So stay away from that complex.
I apologize. What's the name of the complex? I'm sorry, Judge. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Central Park. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no guns while on bond. And if Miss Morris has a weapon, she needs to turn it in immediately to the sheriff's department. And I guess that's all I can order at this time. All right. Any questions, council? Anything I left off?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank
No,
you.
Judge.
Next.
Your Honor, I have a quick question for Mr. Walker, Ian Walker, regarding
Yes.
regarding Rakeem Walker. What are we doing with Mr. Rakeem Walker? Mr. Walker? Yes, can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I believe it's going to be an NOD, but let me confirm that, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're
All right,
welcome.
thank you.
Two of them anyways. So then we will be in the other one just tackled and this.
Who do we have next?
Position number 4, Mr. Makai.
So
Yes.
Mr. Makai Clark, 24 CR 0032335F, charge of 1 count of battery, pretrial.
The defendant appears to have no criminal history on file, so the defendant meets the criteria for UJR jail.
All right.
Your Honor, this incident took place June 27th, 2023. Officers responded to 1116 Piedmont Avenue Northeast, Unit 2, in reference to a dispute. Upon arrival, officers made contact with the victim, Kevin Cronin. Mr. Cronin advised that the defendant is the husband of his wife's friend. They were all at the incident location because the victim and his wife were going through a divorce and dividing up furniture. The victim cursed at his wife and the defendant intervened. He tackled the victim from behind, put him in a chokehold, and dragged him along the ground. The officer observed visible lacerations to the victim's arms and legs. Our office has been in touch with the victim. He stated that the defendant is the husband of his wife's friend. They were there dividing furniture. He stated that he and his wife got into an argument. The defendant attacked him. He said he barely knows the defendant. He has not seen or spoken to him since this incident. He stated that he wants no contact and wants him to stay away from his residence, which is different from the incident location. His address is 829 Adair Avenue Northeast in Atlanta. The state is recommending a signature bond through pretrial and no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the victim's residence, 829 Adair Avenue Northeast. Anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. And if we could sound for Kevin Cronin.
All right, I see Mr. Cronin. Mr. Cronin, do you wish to make a brief statement before the court today?
Yes, I do, Judge. I would just request that to make sure that he has no.
Hold on. I need to swear you in. Raise your right hand for me. It's a testimony that you're about to give the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury.
Yes, it is.
All right, you put your hand down. So are you in fear of Mr. Clark?
I am. I've been, it was 10 months ago that this incident, 11 months ago, this incident occurred, and he was informed by the police that he had an arrest warrant out for him, and he had an opportunity to turn himself in, and he did not. I had been living in the uncertainty that I could get attacked again during that time. I would just ask that if he's released on his signature, as seems to be the case, that he has to turn over any weapons in his household, whether they're his or those that belong to anybody else in his household.
Okay. I don't know if I would say that belong to anybody else is what he has access to. I can't go that far and wide, especially if those people are not the ones that would possibly be putting you in fear. So let me hear the rest of the case and then I'll make my ruling. Yes. Is there something else you wanted to say?
I was just going to say that the other people that live in the household with him are his wife and my soon-to-be ex-wife, who were all present at the scene that day, and I do live in fear of all of them. So that's why I requested that all weapons be eliminated from the house.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. PD Cook.
Judge, I believe he has a private attorney. Mr.
Oh, I'm
Spies.
sorry. Does he? Oh,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
see now. I'm sorry, Mr. Spiesman.
Hey, Judge, and I'm so sorry
Yes.
as well. I've been left, right, and all over the place. I appreciate it. They gave me the felony first appearance link, but I'm here
Oh,
now.
no, the wrong one. Okay.
They did, and I said it from the beginning, Your Honor. Your Honor, I heard most of that, and I believe that the recommendation was a bond through, was it a UJR through pretrial, or was it? Yeah.
Jail.
Yeah.
Through jail, Judge, if UJR through jail's recommendation we'd agree with that. And we'd ask you to follow that recommendation.
Okay. No worries.
Judge, I recommended through pretrial, just for the record.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got that wrong.
Judge,
Okay.
I would ask for jail. My understanding is he has no criminal history. This is not any type of domestic. It is, there's no reason to have any contact with the alleged victim. So I think jail is probably appropriate in this particular case. I don't know that he needs to be monitored by pretrial. I will tell you this, Your Honor, we found out that the warrant was active just a few weeks ago. He actually had no clue. And the reason why he found out is because I think he went on a military base and they told him that. And so we contacted, to the best of my ability, law enforcement. I confirmed there was an active warrant and he turned himself in. So because of all that, I think jail would be appropriate.
Does Mr. Clark work or anything?
He's gainfully employed, Judge. He does travel for work. So he does leave the state for work. But upon finding out about this, he returned home immediately and we dealt with it.
Okay. All right. I will grant a $5,000 signature bond through the jail.
Thank you.
With that signature bond, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons or guns or knives or anything while on bond. If Mr. Clark has a weapon that he owns or possesses, he needs to turn that into the sheriff's department. I'm not going to say any and everybody that lives with them are in the house. I will just limit that to Mr. Clark right now. And he's not supposed to have any weapons anyway, while he's on bond. And I'm going to order a stay away from the 829 Adair Avenue Northeast, which is the victim's address. And on this bond, it's going to say he's not to come within 200 yards of the victim. And so, and to not contact him through any other third parties, friends, family, or anything like that. So he's to have absolutely no contact. And that address at 1116 Piedmont, does there need to be a stay away from that address or not?
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor.
Okay. And no further contact with Kevin Cronin. And I think that's all I'll order for now. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing, Judge. I'm sorry for my late arrival, but I appreciate that I was right on time, it seems like.
Yes, you were. Thank you.
All
No
right.
worries.
All right. And Mr. Clark, you're going to sign your way, and then they will process and release you, sir, as we discussed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Next, we have position number 8, Mr. George Holliday.
This is 24 CR 00323 7G George Holliday, charged with 1 count of reckless conduct. Retrial.
For prior arrest cycles, the last arrest was in 2003 for forgery through the First Offender Act, and that was sealed in 2003. There's 1 misdemeanor outside of the 10-year period, and the defendant meets the criteria for level 2. Nothing further.
All right. State.
Judge, this incident took place May 21st, 2024. Officers responded to 3175 Pollard Street in East Point. Upon arrival, the officers made contact with the defendant and the victim. The victim's name is Irish Melton. She and the defendant are neighbors. After speaking with both parties, the police determined that the defendant was upset because he went to cut his grass and his neighbor's caregiver had parked her car in front of his house. The defendant began cutting his grass and then purposely blew grass all over the vehicle, and then went to the neighbor's backyard and discharged his firearm in the air in an attempt to get the caregiver to move her vehicle. Our office has spoken with the victim, the neighbor, not the neighbor's caregiver. Her name is Irish Melton. She stated that they're neighbors, they live next to her. Her address is actually different from what's in the report. Her address is 3169 Pollard Street. She stated that she had just gotten out of the hospital at the time of this incident and that the nurse had pulled up to help her. The nurse parked on the street in front of her neighbor's house. The defendant came to her door, banging on the door, yelling for the nurse to move her car. And when she did not, the victim stated the defendant began shooting his gun in the air. She said this is not the first time that she and the defendant have had issues with parking at their house. She's called the police multiple times, and the police have told the defendant multiple times that he does not own the street in front of his home and that anyone can park there. She also said this is not the first time the defendant has shot his gun. She's terrified for her safety. She does not want any contact with the victim. And given the allegations, Your Honor, and I understand his last arrest was in 2003, but his reaction to a minor issue is very concerning. The state's recommending a $10,000 surety bond, a no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the neighbor's residence, which is 3169. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on
Hey, you
bond.
went out on me real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're
Did you
starting,
hear the?
Chris.
I'm sorry.
I
Go
heard
ahead.
the recommendation was a 10,000 surety, and then after that,
No further contact with the victim, a stay away from the neighbor's residence, 3169 Pollard Street. Certainly anger awareness and gun safety course. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Irish Melton and the caregiver, also Alicia Doman.
all right, I see Miss Irish Milton is on the line. And are you asking for a stay, no further contact with the caregiver as well?
Yes.
What is the caregiver's
I'm
name?
sorry. The no further contact with either victim, Your Honor. So that's the caregiver's name. Her name's Alicia, spelled A-L-E-C.
Everyone has bad connections today.
I'm sorry, did you hear me?
Nope. You start spelling it A-L-E.
A-L-E-C-I-A-D-O-M-A-N.
Okay. All right. Miss Milton, can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes,
All right. Do you want to make a brief statement to the court today?
yes. I just
All right.
want to know.
Hold on. That was a yes or no question. Now I'm going to
Yes,
swear you in. Raise your right hand.
yes.
Can you raise your right hand?
I got my right hand raised. Can you
Okay.
see it?
I can now. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes,
Okay, put your hand down, please. Are you in fear of Mr. Holliday?
yes, I am.
Do you want to have any more contact with Mr. Holliday?
No more, never.
Okay. Well, I don't know about that. He's your neighbor, correct?
I know it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to see if we can calm this situation down. It's just been a few days. So let me see, is the caregiver on here, Miss Doman? Is she on as well?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know if she's on?
No, I don't know if she on.
Okay. Doesn't look
But she's
like
not coming. She's not coming back, so I don't know if she'll. I don't have no one to come take care of me because everybody's afraid they might get because he's shooting.
Okay. Well, that's not good. All right. Let's hear from the defense. PD Cook, you're representing Mr. Holliday.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 54 years old and he's been an Atlanta resident or Metro Atlanta resident his entire life. He is gainfully employed. He has been with the same company now for 4 years. He holds an associate degree. We have no objection to no further contact to the extent that can be accomplished when they live. I guess they may be next door neighbors. I'm not certain, but they're pretty close. Given his lack of record, we believe the 10,000 or slight record, we believe the 10,000 surety is a waiver board. We would be asking you to follow the recommendation of pretrial, a signature bond through a pretrial certainly no further contact. We have no objection to that. We have no objection to a gun safety course. We would object to an anger management course. We don't believe that's necessary. He wasn't, even the allegations show that he wasn't shooting at anyone. And maybe that's not a big difference in some people's minds, but I believe it is. So we'd be looking for a signature bond through pretrial, and whatever restrictions the court wants to place on contact given the proximity of their homes.
All right, Miss Milton, are you right next door or a few doors away?
Right
Mr.
next
Holiday?
door.
Right next
door.
All right. How long have you been there?
I've been there like 35 years.
Oh, how long has Mr. Holiday been there? Do you know?
About 10 years or less.
Okay. All right. Well, we want you to feel safe in your home, and I hope you can hire another caregiver or someone to look out for you. Okay. And keep in contact with the state if you need some resources.
You said
So
what?
I said keep in contact with the prosecutors or the office of the Solicitor General if you need some other assistance or resources that maybe they can help you with.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, you can mute yourself. I'll give my order now. I'm going to order a $10,000 surety bond for the nature of what Mr. Holiday did. Doesn't matter if you're aiming or not, those bullets come down. And a lot of people have gotten hit by bullets that weren't meant for them, that were going in supposedly different directions. So I think it's just totally reckless, if not more, to do that where bullets could come down and hit other people. So a $10,000 surety bond. I'm going to order that he have no further contact with Miss Irish Milton. I'm going to order no further contact with the Alicia Doman. I'm going to, I don't know how I can order that he at least stay away from 3169 Pollard Street. He is not to have any, I know he may live next door, but better stay on his property, not get on her property. He's to have no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no guns, no knives, or any weapons of any sort in his possession. The gun that he used for this should already be hopefully in custody, but any other weapons that Mr. Holiday has at his home need to be turned over immediately to the sheriff's department and till this case is over. And then he is not to discharge any firearms or weapons of any sort to his neighbors, in his neighbor's direction or in the direction of Miss Milton. I want her to be safe in her home. And I guess that's all out order at this time.
Judge, for the record, I forgot there were two other people listed in the warrant. There's no information about them in the warrant, and we don't have their report yet, so I don't know their relationship, but the warrant states that there's a Gregory Crawley and a Joey Mitchell, who are also named as victims. So I would ask if we could have no further contact with those individuals as well. Unfortunately, I have no context as to who those people are.
Okay. Ms. Milton, do you know who the other two male victims are?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I can't hear you. Take it back off mute. Hold on. Can't hear you. Okay, there you go. Say that again.
They were contractors working on the neighbor house across the street from him. They were contractors.
Okay. And who's that neighbor's home?
It's a vacant house that they're remodeling.
Oh, a vacant house. Okay. But they were also in sort of in the line of the shots fired.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that will be it for this case.
Next, we can go to position number 13, Mr. Javon Stewart.
24 CR 0032448B, Javon Stewart, charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence, pretrial.
The defendant has no criminal history, so the defendant does meet the criteria for UJR jail. Nothing further.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 3660 Marketplace Boulevard, where they met with the victim, Ms. Tiana Ferguson. She and the defendant are married. They were having some type of verbal disagreement earlier in the day. He forced her into the car. She actually was able to call his child's mother. I believe that she actually was the one who contacted law enforcement. But we are asking for a $2,000 surety bond, a no contact with Ms. Ferguson. Well, stay away is not necessary, but a no contact with Ms. Ferguson. No weapon, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. Not sure if Ms. Ferguson is here, but we would sound for the victim at this time.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. There's an iPhone that lit up. Ms. Ferguson, are you on an iPhone?
Yes, I am. I'm just trying to turn on the video. Sorry. The host asks you to start your video. Settings. Camera.
Sometimes you have to sign out and come back in and make sure you press to get on by video and audio. If it's not letting you do it after you've already signed on. I think we lost her. See if she comes right back, Ms. Strong. Okay, let's see. This might be her.
Hello?
Yes. Can you still
Okay.
turn it?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. All right. And tell me, what's your first name?
It's Tiana.
Okay. All right, I'm swear you in. Do you wish to address the court today?
Yes.
All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to receive is the truth, about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. Are you in fear of Mr. Stewart?
No.
All right, do you want to have any further contact with Mr. Stewart?
Yes, I still do.
Okay. Do you all have any children together?
No, we do not.
Okay. All right, any cross-examination by the state or the PD?
Nothing from the state.
Okay.
Nothing from defense.
All right. All right, go ahead, PD Atai.
Your Honor, my client is 29 years old. He is a Georgia resident. He is gainfully employed as a fleet service agent for American Airlines. He graduated high school. He did do some college. He denies the allegations as stated in the warrant. When I spoke with the complaining witness, she did tell me that she did not call the police and that he did not hit her. They are married, Your Honor, and as you heard from her, she does want contact. And as you heard from pretrial, this is his very first arrest. He's 29 years old, has absolutely no criminal history. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. It's his first arrest, and no violent contact with the complaining witness, nothing further.
Okay. All right, I will order $3,500 signature bond through the jail. And I will order no further violent contact with Miss Tiana Ferguson. I will order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that should be it.
I apologize. Is her name Ferguson or Fagan?
Don't know. Ms. Ferguson?
Yes, a lot of.
It's Fagan. I couldn't read my
it's
own handwriting. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Space.
Okay. I think we got it right, Ms. Fagan. I'm sorry. All right, that should do it.
Next, we have position number 7, Mr. Francois.
This is 24 CR 003236Y. Stanley Francois, 1 count of criminal trespass, retrial.
38 prior arrest cycles with multi-state interaction in Georgia and in Florida. The last arrest was May 11, 2024 for criminal trespass and willful obstruction. There are 3 misdemeanor convictions outside of the 10-year period. A 2016 misdemeanor conviction for giving false name, a 2018 misdemeanor conviction for battery, a 2023 conviction for driving while license suspended or revoked, and possession of meth. 3 felony convictions outside of the 10-year period, a 2014 felony conviction for possession of a weapon by a convicted felon out of Florida, 2020 felony conviction for larceny. There appears to be 2 open cases from May of 2024 in Fulton County, one being for criminal trespass. Case number is 24 CR 002-819Y, and the second open case is for criminal trespass and willful obstruction. The case number is 24 CR 002-987Y, 1 FTA in 2016, and the defendant does meet the criteria for level 3. Nothing further.
All right.
Judge, this incident occurred May 23rd, 2024. Officers responded to the Economy Hotel located at 9995 Old Dogwood Road in Roswell in reference to a criminal trespass. Upon arrival, officers made contact with the manager, who advised that the defendant has an active criminal trespass warning from May 3rd of this year and came back to the property. As pretrial stated, Judge, this would be his 3rd case for trespass. He has 2 prior open ones from the month of May alone with our office. All 3 of his cases are involving the same hotel. Judge Morrow gave him a SOB jail on the first case and ordered him to stay away on May 4th of this year. He was arrested again on May 13th of this year and again given an SOB jail by Judge Morrow and another stay away from this hotel. So at this point, the state's going to recommend a $500 surety bond, another stay away from the Economy Hotel, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond.
All right. PD Cook.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 41 years old. He engages in some self-employment automobile detailing, but at this point he appears to be for the most part homeless. We understand the number of cycles, but a surety bond is going to be essentially no bond at all. So we would be seeking a signature bond at whatever level the court deems appropriate.
Okay. I will order the $500 surety bond. I'm going to order that he stay away again from the Economy Hotel. Had 2 signature bonds and he violated them. So now it's time for a surety bond. My inclination was to make it higher, but I'll go with the state's recommendation of $500. Surety bond. Stay away from the Economy Hotel, 9995, I think, what is it, Dogwood Road. Stop going there. Put your hands down, please. I'm sure your attorney is going to tell you to be quiet and not make any statements against your interest. You are to stay away from that location totally. And you are to have no guns, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol while on bond. And I think that's all out order at this time. I don't know, Mr. Cook, if you, well, he's gone anyway. Wanted to see what he wanted.
And that's fine, Your Honor. Well,
Yeah. All right.
Next, we go to position number 1, Ms. Nalaya Abdullah.
Your Honor, I have not been able to interview Ms. Abdullah. I was thinking she was going to be a medical reset. So I don't know if anyone else with the PD's office has interviewed her or not, but I would not be prepared to go forward with a hearing.
All right. Anyone else?
I did not interview her.
All right. She was arrested today. Are you all trying to reset her, or are you going to do that real quickly, or what?
I mean, if there's a breakout or even a phone available, I have no objection to interviewing her. I've got her background information. I just haven't done the interview.
You can
Okay.
you can call for you can call for too.
Okay, could I get that number?
What's the phone call?
You want to put the number in the chat, or you want to give me?
Mr. Cook, it's gonna be the same number, the 22391, 22391.
22391.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll
All right.
call it.
And-
I'll call it right now.
Deputy
Okay.
Norris, just to confirm, Walker will be an NOD.
Appreciative, thank you.
Thank you.
So you gonna call me now, go back? We can go to position number 14, Mr. Tu Pusant.
This is 24 CR 003243Y, Marvin Tout Poussant. 1 count of driving, hit and run. Pre-trial. Can't hear you.
6 prior arrest cycles with multi-state interaction in Georgia, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. The last arrest was January 3rd, 2024 for 2 counts of criminal trespass and simple battery, which appears to be open in Clayton County. There's a 2021 arrest for possession or sale of marijuana and driving with license suspended, a 2018 misdemeanor conviction for theft by unlawful taking, and that was in Pennsylvania. A 2017 misdemeanor conviction for access device fraud in Pennsylvania. A 2018 conviction for use of drugs in New Jersey. And there also appears to be another open case out of Carroll County from 2023 for theft by taking. And the defendant does meet criteria for level 3. Nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 4720 Merlandale Drive. According to the warrant, they were having a wedding, and actually the defendant was the DJ of the wedding. After the wedding had concluded, the guests were leaving out, and I'm not sure why he would leave the scene because, again, he was the DJ for this wedding, but he ran to the back of one of the attendees' car, Miss Ariel Donaldson, but of course she was able to identify him because, again, he was the DJ at the wedding that they were all attending. The state is asking for a $1,500 surety bond. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
All right, PD.
Yes, Your Honor, my client, Mr. Pusan, is actually 36 years old, and yes, he has been the DJ for the last 20 plus years, Your Honor. He denies the allegation. He was at the scene. He himself was a DJ, and he was the one who was struck. So his both leg, his knees, he's actually has a cast over it. He has a hard time walking, actually, Your Honor. He was there. He was just laid down, and because his legs were broken, he couldn't go anywhere. And his wife was the one who had to kind of like help him out. He was there for extra 4 hours, Your Honor. So I think there's a huge misunderstanding. Even the police officer was like, okay, we are going to be you know, going through this or need to dismiss. And I believe that Ariel Donaldson, we can definitely call for her, but she has no intention to prosecute my client at all. He graduated from college from Queens, New York, St. John's University, Your Honor. Has a communication major. He has 2 minor children that he has to support. We would like to request for signature on bond through jail.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to laugh because very few of what was just said was actually true. He was not at the scene. He left the scene of the crime. That's why the police were called. I haven't had contact with the victim, so I don't know if opposing counsel has had contact with the victim, but I doubt she would have called the police to file a police report if she didn't want to press charges. She also told the police officer that she believed that he was actually intoxicated, and that was his motive for leaving the scene. So he was not there. I don't know if his legs were broken or not, but they weren't broken at the scene of this accident, and he was not on the ground at the scene of this accident.
Well, you're not there, so.
Well, that's what I got that from the warrant. So I don't think the officer who took out a sworn affidavit would lie. If he was there, they would have cited him, correct?
Without
Like
intentional lies, things kind of can be
if he was there while
misunderstood.
the officer was there, I'm sure that this would be a traffic citation case and not a hit and run case. So I mean, you can take his word or the officer's word who took out the warrant.
I take my client's words.
Okay,
I
well,
believe in my
I
client.
take the officer's word. So
They make
but
mistakes. People make mistakes.
Okay.
nothing
Okay.
further, Your
Okay.
Honor.
All right. All right. I'm going to order the $2,500 signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order that Mr. Tout Poussant stay away from the incident location. And I'm going to order that he have no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I'm assuming he still has a valid driver's license.
Yes.
If
I
he
believe so,
does,
Your Honor.
okay, if he does, he can drive, but try obviously not to have any more accidents such as this. And I guess that's all I'll order at this time.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Next, we could go to position number 15, Mr. West.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Position number 15, Mr. West.
Okay. 24 CR 003244F, Devontae West, charged with 1 count of battery family violence, pretrial.
The last arrest was May 21st, 2024 for driving while license suspended or revoked. The defendant received first offender treatment in 2008 for burglary and criminal trespass. The matter was sealed in 2017. There is a 2011 simple battery family violence, which was merged with cruelty to the third and battery, and that was no load out of Clayton County. A 2017 misdemeanor conviction for driving while license suspended or revoked and fleeing. A 2017 misdemeanor conviction for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. 2019 misdemeanor conviction for willful obstruction. A 2020 arrest for aggravated assault, which was no prize, and the defendant had a total of 16 arrest cycles. The defendant does meet a criteria for level 2, nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 3545 Boulder Park, where they met with the victim, Ms. Lataria Montgomery. Her and the defendant have children together. They were having a verbal disagreement where he took a cell phone and threw it and struck her in her forehead, leaving a knot. The state is asking for a $2,500 surety bond. Stay away from the incident location. No contact with Ms. Montgomery. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right. PD Kim?
Yes. Your Honor, can we sound for Miss Lataria Montgomery. I was hoping she was going to join us.
Lataria Montgomery. Lataria Montgomery. Don't think I have anyone with that name. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened November 2023, November 2nd. So it was like almost half a year ago. My client, they still live together. They have third child on the way. My client has 6 children that he has to support. He is financially the one who's responsible for 6 children. I strongly recommend for signature on bond through pretrial level 2, as he is recommended. So, Your Honor, we would like to request for that. And he is gainfully employed at Pepsi as a forklift driver, and he has there was no actually there was no conviction for any kind of violence in the history, and whatever we have is really long time ago. They're so remote. I don't think they should be considered as of this point now. And he has a GED. He was born and raised here in Georgia. He's not a flight risk, and we believe that he should get signature on bond through pretrial and look for the violent contact. And I was really hoping that his baby mother was gonna show up.
And just to correct the record, he does have a 2011 simple battery family violence conviction out of Clayton County.
2011 is more than 12 years ago.
I know how to count. I was letting the court know. You said he had no violence convictions, and that's incorrect.
Oh, did I say that? Sorry.
You did. It's okay. It's okay.
All right. I'm going to order a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order. I don't know if he has anywhere else to go live, but this was November of last year. So the problem is I haven't heard from the victim.
And we haven't had contact either, Your Honor, and that's the reason why we asked for a stay away.
It's so long time ago, Your Honor. This happened a long time ago, and she is about to give a birth.
She's about to be what?
Give another child. She's expecting another child right now.
I know, but I would love to hear from the victim.
Yeah.
That means she was also pregnant when this happened. It sounds
No.
like.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Well, she should have been.
I am trying to find out where she is, Your Honor.
That's a close call, PD Kim.
No.
November, she should have been pregnant.
I don't think so, Your Honor.
Well, you said she was about to give birth.
I
but
know.
I don't know how
I'm not
close.
saying that she is about to give now. I don't know the expectation time. So
well, let's do this, PD Kim. Give your client permission to answer me. When is his next baby due? How about that? If you give me
well, you need to be a little bit more accurate. You need to ask with the victim, because
I had to talk to my victim. I'm trying to see if he can join us. I was hoping she would.
So you don't want him to answer that question, huh?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
Okay. So let me do this. 2,500 signature bond through the jail. I'm gonna order stay away till we can find out what's going on. I need to make sure this victim is safe. So he needs to stay away from 3545 Boulder Park. And have I'll say, I have a duty to the victim. If I say no further contact until we can find out, I guess you can always do a request to amend the bond. I just have to make sure that she's safe. So I'm going to order no further contact right now. You can request to have the bond modified. If she shows up and tells us she's okay.
Hello, can you please show up at the, hold on, please, Your Honor. I apologize.
And there you have it, Mr. Walker.
Very good.
Can we come back?
All right, we can come back to it. She's gonna sign on Zoom. Is that what she's gonna do, PD Kim?
She says she's trying right now to log in.
I'll give her a second. Let's see if we can see her coming in.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So we don't have to circle back if we can
Thank
help
you.
it. Ms. Strong, are you my Zoom master and litigation manager?
No, ma'am, just your litigation manager.
Oh, I saw. There we go. Hello, Miss Lewis. How are you?
I'm good.
In a while. Do you see her coming in?
I just,
Someone trying to come in?
what is her name?
Her name is
Lataria Montgomery.
Yes.
No,
But
she
you know, that may not mean anything. She could be coming in as iPhone or
yeah,
something.
that's true. A lot
No
of
one's
people
trying to come in.
change their name on their iPhone, which I wish they do.
Okay.
That's another story. No, she has not came
Now,
in.
who is this showing up as Ashley?
I have no clue.
Ashley, who are you?
And folks turn on their cameras when they're not being addressed, so I wish they just keep their cameras off until they are addressed.
Okay, is that her by chance or on
I
someone
have
else's
no clue.
phone? Can we see who Ashley is or what case she's connected with?
Miss Ashley, the judge is addressing you. Can you please inform who you are and who you're here for? Somebody else just logged on now too, Judge. I don't know who this is.
Oh, let's see, another person. Okay. What's the other person under? iPhone or?
No, it just says Mara. I don't know.
Oh.
Who it is.
Is there anyone logging on as Lataria Montgomery? Ashley, you took off your.
She's texting me, Your Honor. That it says it's not allowing me. So she is really trying right now.
All right, we're gonna move forward. I'm
We
going
need to
to.
call. Today is Friday.
Okay. I'm
And we
gonna.
have an add-on calendar too, Your Honor.
Oh, I hope not.
We do.
Okay.
Can we do no further violent contact if she shows up? So we don't have to revisit again?
No, I'm
Oh.
gonna order no further contact, stay away. And if she shows up before I'm off my calendar, I may reconsider once I hear her testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right now, I'm gonna order stay away, no further contact until I can know that this victim is safe.
Thank
Because
you.
I have an issue with these dates and what her condition may be.
And
And
Judge,
if not, if she doesn't sign on before we get off, then you'll have to do a bond modification request later, once
Yes,
we
Your Honor.
know that she's safe. All right,
Your Honor, Miss Abdullah is ready for her hearing. We've spoken.
okay, we can go back to her. Okay,
That's been.
that's position 1. Can we do that, deputies?
This is her, Your Honor.
Okay, 24 CR 003232G. Is it Nyla Abdullah, charged with 1 count of simple battery? Hold on one second. So the Ashley person, I'm reading my notes in the chat, was with the case of Marvin Tout Poussant. So we've already heard
we
that
already
case.
addressed that case, Judge. Somebody else can address.
So right, they can sign off. We're wondering if he was seen. That case has been heard. So yeah, Miss Ashley can sign off. We're done with that case. All right. Pre-trial, go ahead with position 1, Miss Abdullah.
2 prior arrest cycles. Last arrest was October 10th, 2023, for violating a family protection order, and that was out of the cab. Also, criminal trespass, terroristic threat, and simple battery against a police officer. That case appears to be open. There's also an additional open case with the cab for simple assault from September 16th, 2022. The defendant does meet the criteria for level 2. Nothing further.
All right,
Your Honor, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
having issues with my mic for some reason. Okay, this incident occurred May 5th, 2024. Officers responded to the Valero gas station located at 5022 Old National Highway in College Park. Upon arrival, officers made contact with the store manager and the victim in this case. His name is Mr. Muhammad Udan, who advised that he saw the defendant approaching the store despite her not being welcome there, and he tried to lock her out of the store to prevent her from entering. And as he was trying to lock the defendant out, she struck him on the forehead with a closed fist. Our office has not been in touch with the victim at this time. As pretrial said, she does have some history with victim crimes. She does have what looks like an open case for violating a TPO, terroristic threats, criminal trespass, and simple battery. And she also has an arrest for simple assault out of a cab. So because of her history, the state's recommending a $1,500 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the Valero gas station, anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. And if we could sound for Muhammad Udin.
All right, Muhammad Udin. Muhammad Udin. All right, go ahead, PD Cut.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 21 years old, has lived in the area about 10 years. She's not working at the moment. She denies the allegations completely. She said she'd never been to the Valero station, and I believe that's in College Park. I'm correct, or not correct. We would be asking you to follow the recommendation from pretrial, which I believe was a level 2 signature bond. Have no problem, no objection to no further contact or a stay away. We would object to anger awareness. Nothing further.
All right. I'm going to order $2,500 signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order stay away from the Valero gas station, 5022 Old National Highway. No further contact with the victim, Mohammed Udin or Udin. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. That's all I ordered this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Next, we go to position number 16, Mr. Williams.
24 CR 003246J, Caden Williams. Pretrial.
33 arrest cycles with multi-state interaction in Alabama, Florida, and Georgia. The last arrest was in 2023 for deposit fraud accounts. There's a 2023 misdemeanor conviction for 3 counts of harassing phone calls. 2021 misdemeanor conviction for harassing phone calls. There's also a 2020 conviction for forgery, computer forgery, and operation of credit repair services. 2019 failure to register. A 2019 misdemeanor conviction for willful obstruction. A 2018 misdemeanor conviction for willful obstruction. And there's a 2015 felony conviction for a CWAG charge and willful obstruction. 2014 felony conviction for ID fraud, a 2014 arrest for simple battery, family violence, and criminal trespass out of Foresight, but those charges were no pressed. A 2010 misdemeanor conviction for harassing communications, and that was out of Florida. There appears to be an open case in Fulton County from 2018 for 3 counts of deposit account fraud. The case number is 23 SC 171617. The defendant appears to be on probation regarding 4 matters. The first being out of Cherokee County for the 3 counts of harassing phone calls. The defendant appears to be serving 12 months of probation. And that started July 11, 2023. The defendant also appears to be on probation for failure to register out of Fayette County, serving 5 years and 7 months on probation, and that sentence date was October 11, 2019. The defendant also appears to be on probation in Fulton County for a CWAG charge, and that was 8 years of probation. Sentence date was June 15th, 2015. And lastly, the defendant appears to be on probation out of Coweta County for forgery in the second degree, and that was 9 years of probation, and the sentence date was January 8th, 2020. 2 FTAs in 2019, and the defendant meets the criteria for level 3. Nothing further.
All right.
Law enforcement was dispatched to 135 Waverly Hall, where they met with the victim, Mr. Weston Paget. He advised that he and the defendant are in a relationship. They reside together. They were having a verbal disagreement. Mr. Paget was attempting to leave the home. The defendant was attempting to prevent him from leaving the home, cornered him, and punched him. The state is asking for a $2,500 surety bond, a no contact with Mr. Paget, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right.
And of course, we would sign for the victim, Mr. Weston Paget.
All right, Mr. Weston Paget. Mr. Paget. Don't see anything. All right, go ahead, PD Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Williams is 42 years old. He was born and raised here in Georgia, Your Honor. Well, he does not have any failure to appear. He will come back to the court. And right now, they broke up, and alleged victim or complaining witness left the house on May 19. So that house is actually my client's house. He purchased the house. He's the sole owner. So he wants to be able to return back home. And he is gainfully employed as a CPA. He has been working for the same company for about 7 years. And he does have a bachelor's degree from University of Alabama. He studied business and political science. We would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial level 3, as he is recommended so, and no contact is totally okay with him. They broke up. Thank you. And he denies the allegation. He claims that it was a self-defense.
He has a lot of cycles, though. That's what concerns me a little bit here.
No FTA, though, Your Honor. He always came to the courts.
All right, I'm going to order a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial level 3. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. I'm going to order no further contact with Mr. Paget. And I guess we're not doing the stay away since that's his location.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Next, we go to position number 9, Mr. Tristan Knox.
This is 24 CR 0032338G. Tristan Knox, charged with 1 count of battery family violence, 2nd count of simple battery family violence, and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd. Pre-trial.
15 prior arrest cycles. Last arrest was in 2021 for a probation violation. There's a 2010 arrest for aggravated assault, family violence, simple battery family violence, and criminal damage to property 2nd, and a 2013 felony conviction for possession or sale of marijuana, theft by receiving stolen property, and possession of drug-related items. 2016 felony conviction for possession or sale of marijuana, a 2021 felony conviction for possession of Schedule 1 or 2 with intent to distribute. The defendant appears to be on probation in Walton County for sale of marijuana and serving 12 years on probation. The disposition date was November 4th, 2013. The defendant is also on probation in Athens, Clark County for sale of marijuana for probation period of 7 years. And that warrant date was April 19th, 2016. The defendant is also on probation in Barrow County for possession of Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance, serving 19 years on probation. The disposition date was August 12th, 2021. The defendant does meet the criteria for level 2. Nothing further.
Your Honor, this incident took place on April 28th, 2024. Officers responded to 2385 Barrington Trace Circle in Atlanta in reference to a dispute. Upon arrival, officers made contact with one of the victims, Taisha Rucker. Miss Rucker is the mother of the defendant's children. She stated that her son, initials TK, came to visit while the defendant, who's the child's father, ran some errands. The defendant came back to pick up the child, and there was a dispute out by his car because he was in a rush to leave and they were arguing. The defendant got out of the car, walked to the passenger door where Miss Rucker stood, wrapped his arms around her neck and slammed her to the ground. When he did that, the son got up to defend his mother, and then he struck his son and pushed him. The son did not have any injuries. The mother did have injuries. All of this happened in the presence of the two minor children, TK and TH. Our office has spoken with the victim. She stated that her and the defendant are not in the relationship. They do not live together. They do have two children. The incident location is her residence. She confirmed the offense in the warrant. She stated that the defendant did wrap his arms around her neck, but she was able to breathe and didn't feel like she was about to lose consciousness. She stated that this is not the first time the defendant's been violent toward her. She has not seen or spoken to the defendant since this incident happened. She wants no contact with him and wants him to stay away. Because of his record, Your Honor, the state is recommending a $2,500 surety bond on the battery, a $1,000 surety bond on the simple battery, and $500 on each cruelty count. So total, I believe that's $4,500 surety bond. And no further contact with the victims. Stay away from the incident location. FVIP, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for the mother, Taisha Rucker. I believe she may be on the line.
All right, Taisha Rucker. Taisha Rucker. Don't see anybody with that. All right, PD Atai.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 36 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He denies the allegations as stated in the warrant. I spoke with the complaining witness, and she did state that she would rather have no further contact with him, but she stated that she does want him to be able to have contact with the children, not only his own, but also her biological child, who he has a close relationship with and takes care of, just like his own biological children. So she said she would like to have the third party transfer for the children so that he can continue to be present in their lives. He is gainfully employed doing landscaping. He's also a barber and works for a cleaning company. Again, he's the biological father of a 13-year-old child and 10-year-old child, and takes care of the complaining witness's daughter as well. And I understand he has some history, Your Honor, but the last violent offense was in 2010, 14 years ago. Everything else is marijuana or drug related. So I don't believe that he poses a threat to the public, and I don't think that he poses a threat necessarily even to the complaining witness. She still wants him to have contact with the children. She did say that she had the Zoom link and she would join. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services as he is recommended, and no further contact with Taisha Rucker, but a third party transfer for the minor children.
Your Honor, I'll just state for the record, I don't
also object to the family violence intervention program. His last violent offense was 14 years ago. Nothing further.
I didn't mean to cut you off, PD Atai. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say we've spoken to her and she did not say that she wanted a third party transfer for her children. From according to our notes, she said she wants no contact. She doesn't say she doesn't want her kids to have contact, but she does say that the children are with her and she has not seen or spoken to him since this incident and that she wants no contact and a stay away from her residence. So
Well, I did
because
specifically ask about the children because they are listed, because there's cruelty to children charges. So I specifically asked her, about the children, and she said she does not want to keep him away from the children.
yeah, I just don't have that information is all I wanted to say.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Um, I believe I'm going to order the $4,500 assured. I'm sorry.
Kind of have
Hello?
to, we kind of have to. Hello. I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay. Is that it for the PD's office, PD Atai?
Yes, Your Honor, I would just like to ask for the signature bond through pretrial services level 2 as he is recommended.
All right, I'm going to order the $4,500 signature bond through pretrial level 2. That breakdown is the $2,500 on the battery, $1,000 on the simple battery, $500 on each of the cruelty charges. I'm going to order the 2-day anger awareness course through pretrial. I'm going to order now the 2385 Barrington Trace is whose address?
That is the complaining witness's address, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So stay away from that address. And I'm going to order right now because of the request of the victim, no further contact with the victim or the children who are victims in the case right now. I think we need to, although this did happen in April, make sure that they have cooled down or gotten some help. I'm just going to order stay away and the no further contact with all victims and children. Not going to, I don't know if they've been legitimated, there's a parenting plan in place or not. I don't know. Or if there's a divorce, not sure what the situation is. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. I think that should be it.
Your Honor, what was that amount on the battery?
2,500.
And that's a surety bond?
No, all of it's 4,500 SOB pretrial. I'm sorry, did I say that wrong?
Level 1?
Level 2.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Next, we can go to position number 3, Beasley.
Your Honor, actually, I do have what was her name?
Montgomery.
Yes, she is. She couldn't get into the Zoom, so we are having a FaceTime, and I'm trying to show her face, and
Oh, that's not gonna get it, PD Kim. I love you and I trust you, believe me, but I cannot see that phone in that FaceTime. I don't know who that is. I can't do it that way. If I start allowing that, I'll have the state doing it and everybody else. She has
This they
got
wouldn't even try to do that, Your Honor.
She wouldn't, thank you. Okay. I cannot have her to testify that way. She has got to go somewhere and sign on to the Zoom. Tell her to please be quiet. I've not asked her to speak. No, I can allow it that way. I'm sorry. So you all do a bond modification later and get her on the proper way.
I'll ask her if there's another device to find the Zoom, please.
Yeah,
She
she
have
has
a
Zoom
hearing
on.
going on. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, who do we have, Deputy?
Position number 3, Mr. Beasley.
All right, this is 24 CR 003234E, Terrence Beasley, charged with one count of theft by taking, second count giving a false name or address, and third willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Pre-trial.
37 arrest cycles. Last arrest was May 4th, 2024 for an FTA, and that was out of Doraville. There was a 2023 felony conviction for 2 counts of aggravated assault, family violence, and aggravated stalking, and that was in Fulton County. And the defendant does appear to be on probation and serving 9 years for that. The case number is 22 SC 185172. There's also a July 2023 arrest with Atlanta Police Department for theft by shoplifting, theft of lost or stolen property, possession of cocaine, and possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. A 2023 misdemeanor conviction for criminal trespass and willful obstruction out of Fulton County. The case number is 23 CR 004695E. There is also a March 2023 arrest for theft by shoplifting with Doraville Police Department, a 2022 misdemeanor conviction for theft by shoplifting and 2 counts of simple battery. And there's also a 2019 misdemeanor conviction for theft by shoplifting, which was reduced to a non-fingerprintable offense, and that was out of Dunwoody. And also there appears to be an open case in Fulton County for possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, ID fraud, and theft by shoplifting, and that was in Fulton County. The case number is 23 SC 191511, and there are 3 FTAs in 2023, 2 FTAs in 2024. The defendant does meet the criteria for level 3. Nothing further.
All right, state.
Your Honor, this incident took place May 21st, 2024. An officer was working an extra job at Midtown Blue when he was flagged down by the store clerk outside of Midtown Market. The clerk advised that an unknown male grabbed the cashier's credit card reader and ran out of the store. The male was eventually apprehended a few streets over, and the clerk confirmed that it was the man who stole the credit card reader. The officer took the defendant back to the precinct to confirm his identity. The defendant gave him the name Carlos, but refused to give him his last name or date of birth. The officer then brought the fingerprint scanner so he could figure out his identity, and the defendant refused. Given all of his FTAs, I think he has an FTA from all of his recent cases, Your Honor, and he has several thefts from the last 3 years. The state's asking for a $1,000 surety bond on the theft and $500 on each on the false name and the obstruction. The total, that would be $2,000 surety bond and a stay away from the Midtown Market, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
All right. PD Cook.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 35 years old. He's lived in the Atlanta area his entire life. He is gainfully employed in security. He has an associate degree in business. We would ask the court to accept the recommendation of pretrial, I believe it was a signature bond at level 3.
All right. I will order a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial level 3. That'll be $1,500 on the theft by taking, $500 on the false name, and $500 on the willful obstruction, for a total of $2,500. Stay away from Midtown Market. No further contact with the victim in the case. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I think that's it. Anything else? No.
Your Honor, we did recommend level 4, not 3.
Oh, level 4. All right, let me make it level 4. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Just for his edification and mine too, actually, level 4 would be how much that would be reporting once a week. Is that the?
I believe it's multiple times a week, but they will let him know.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Next, we could go to position number 5, Davenport.
This is 24 CR 003247H. Michael Davenport, charged with 1 count of reckless conduct, 2nd count public drunk. Pre-trial.
7 prior arrest cycles. The last arrest was July 10th, 2023 for an FTA. There was a 2021 misdemeanor conviction for a DUI, alcohol, and failure to report striking object in Fulton County. That case number is 22 CR 005-428J, and the defendant appears to currently be serving 12 months on probation for that matter in Fulton County. And there's 1 FTA in 2016, 1 FTA in 2023, and the defendant meets the criteria for level 3. Nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to Avano Woods apartment complex located at 2401 Jasmine Parkway due to shots being fired in the pool area. As law enforcement approached, they met residents that were leaving the pool area, identifying the defendant as the shooter. They made contact with the defendant. He made the excited utterance that he was protecting his family. When they asked him what he was protecting his family from, he was unable to articulate what he was protecting his family from. They did find a loaded handgun in his book bag. While they were still on the scene, his girlfriend came to the location and spoke with officers. They asked her what she knew about the incident. She said she didn't have any knowledge. She was at the pool with the defendant earlier in the day, but he was acting bizarre and strange, so she left. The state is asking, and the officer also noted that he was inebriated or intoxicated. The state is asking for a $10,000 surety bond. This did occur at a pool. Obviously, there's families and other children at the pool. And to the 1 count of public drunk, we're asking for a $1,000 surety bond. We are asking for no contact with the reporting witness. Her name is Jordan Racios. No weapon, drugs, or alcohol while on bond, and we would sound for the victim, Miss Racius.
So, Miss Racius, is it Jordan Racius?
I believe so, Your Honor. I don't see her on the line, but we would ask for no contact and stay away with a total $11,000 surety bond to forfeit any weapons, no weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right. PD Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 31 years old, and he is actually going through a very difficult time, both financially and physically. He has a leg and hip surgery, so he has a very hard time to walk. He had a car wreck and a lot of issues. He has not been able to get a job because he could not move his body that well. I believe that he needs help. There's no way he's going to be able to pay for any bond at all. He completed up to 11th grade, and he is still pursuing his GED. I believe they are the same apartment complex, Havana Woods apartment, and Joel Green, the complaining witness, is the neighbor. So I think Joel Green lives in another location, and my client lives at 2722. Her location is 2401. So it's kind of like a separate place. And as long as he can return to his place, I'm sure he will stay away from Joel Green and her place, definitely. We ask for signature on bond through pretrial, no matter what level it is. Level 4 is even welcomed. There's no way he can pay for any kind of bond as of now.
So one thing, that's the same apartment complex, but honestly, I was asking for a stay away from the complex. It happened in a common area, which was the pool. It did not happen at her unit. She was not the only resident that was at the pool. There was other residents that was leaving the pool as officers arrived. So the state is asking for a stay away from the entire complex. He basically admitted to shooting into the pool area and could not articulate a reason as to why he did, what he did.
I
So,
didn't see I didn't see any admission of guilt. I mean, that's not the
well, he said he was protecting his family, and they asked him from what. He could not say what he was protecting his family from. And other residents at the pool said that he was the shooter. So, I mean, you could put two and two together. His own girlfriend said she was at the pool with him, but due to his strange behavior, she decided to leave the pool. So I think that's very telling in itself. And that's all in the warrant, Ms. Kim. So
But
I don't.
nobody actually saw him doing it, and he was actually
Okay.
in a lot of pain, Your Honor. I don't want to argue about the facts of the case. He's presumed to be innocent until proven guilty. He really has no funds to pay for, and he has no other place to go to.
All right. And he was caught, well, not caught, he was arrested with a loaded handgun and an extra clip on his person. So
He will be he would not object to surrender all the weapons. He has no objection to that.
Okay. All right, I'm going to order a $6,000 I'm really inclined, I'm very concerned about the nature of the alleged facts of the case, shooting sort of similar to the other one, shooting in a public place where people can be hurt and people can be shot. Bullets don't have names on them. They go up and come down. And so I'm concerned about the gun violence. I'm going to order a $6,000 surety bond, $5,000 on the reckless, $1,000 on the public drunk. And with that surety bond, I'm going to order a stay away from this apartment complex. And what is it called? Something Oak.
Avana Woods.
Avana
AVANNA.
Woods.
Yeah, AVANNA Woods.
Okay, so if he lives there, he needs to find somewhere else to go live, gets out on bond. So to stay away from Avana Woods apartment complex, the whole complex, no further contact with the victim or victims if we have other names. If he has any guns, he needs to surrender them immediately, or any weapons, to the sheriff's department. But also no drugs, alcohol, guns, or weapons anyway while he's on bond. And guess that'll be it for now.
What was the bond again? Bond amount again, Your Honor?
6,000 surety, 5,000 on the reckless, 1,000 on the public drunk.
Your Honor, can he at least have a 5,000 total, so that way he can be considered by bail project or somebody else to help him out? There's no way he's going to be able to get anybody to pay for that much money, Your Honor.
I'll do 5,000, 4,000 on the reckless, and 1,000 on the drunk.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, we can go to position number 6, Mr. Elliott.
This is 24 CR 003245, Robert Elliott, charge of 1 count of simple battery. Pre-trial.
One prior arrest cycle listed on the GCIC. The last arrest was June 17, 2023 for burglary in the first, theft by taking, hit and run, duty of driver to stop at or return to the scene of an accident, and also aggravated assault, and that was out of Baldwin County, and that case does appear to be open. It does appear that the defendant has a hold for Lawrenceville Police Department for an obstruction case, and that warrant date is December 2nd, 2023. The defendant does meet the criteria for level 2, nothing further.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to, I'm sorry, I just lost my place in my notes. Was dispatched to 975 Winding Bridge Way, where they met with the victim, Mr. Darrell Hall. I believe that this is some type of recovery home. I believe that the victim is a staff member of the home. That basically they're having a verbal disagreement, and the defendant became violent, pushing the victim into a wall. We have made contact with Mr. Hall. He is concerned about MH issues for the victim. We are asking for a no contact and a stay away. No weapon, drugs, or alcohol while on bond, and we will be asking for MHET. I'm fine for a signature bond through pretrial services.
Okay.
Your Honor, can we please do breakout room? Just in case, I just realized that since he brought up MH issue, I would like to go to breakout room for this.
That's fine. And
Sure.
can we sign for the
Sure.
victim, Mr. Darrell Hall?
Mr. Darrell Hall.
I don't know if it says recovery, if that's him, or
Yes, I'm present. It's a
Can
Silver
we
Living
go
Home.
to the breakout room?
can he come to the breakout room so he can make whatever statement he would like to make without,
Can also Miss Lisa Elliott can come as well? It's his mother.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Got a lot of people put us all in a breakout, Miss Lewis.
Oh,
I kind of heard. I'm trying to make sure I got everybody.
Daryl's iPhone, Lisa, Edie Kim, Walker. Recovery comes in, correct?
well, it says Darrell's iPhone, I believe.
Oh, not recovery.
Yeah, not
No,
recovery. I'm
recovery.
sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, I got it.
No,
Person just came in with Vortex HCC5. What is your name? Mr. Recovery, who are you here for today? The person with the recovery on his phone. Can you hear me? You're muted, sir. I can't hear you, sir. You gotta unmute yourself. I can't hear you, sir. I can't hear you, sir. You have to unmute yourself.
Were you speaking to me?
Yes, I was. Who are you here
Oh,
for
okay.
today?
I'm one of the staff members here at Recovery Works.
Okay, yeah, it just said recovery. We did not know. You never indicated, and the judge asked earlier, who were you here
Oh,
for?
I am so sorry. I am so
And
sorry.
I put in the chat to reach you to find out who you are and who is
Okay,
recovery,
okay,
so we'll know how to address you in court if there's a case that we need to
okay.
address. So
Well, please forgive me.
that's okay. We just need to know. So you're with the agency named Recovery?
Yes, with the case that's in front of you now.
Okay, so was you supposed to be in the breakout room too? Cause
Yes, yes.
nobody said anything to me. Okay, I'll put you in the breakout room.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Judge. Hello?
In the breakout room now.
Okay, thank you. Hello?
All right, we're back. Who do we have, deputies? Hello? Courtroom two?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, on Mr. Robert Elliott, I want to announce what the order is for bond. It's going to be a 2,500 surety bond. We're going to put him on the competency calendar for June 6th. MHET. No further violent contact with the victims, Mr. and Miss Elliott. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Mr. Hall, Daryl Hall. I'm sorry. Had the victim's name wrong. And I believe that was it. Was there a stay away from Mr. Hall's? No, that's right. He didn't want that. Just no further violent contact with Mr. Hall. That's the only other condition. All right. And let me say this, Mr. Elliott, whatever treatment is ordered, you need to follow that as well as take your medication. Okay. You're being ordered to do that by the court. All right. Good luck to you.
Send back up. We can do condition number 12. It was a waiver.
Okay. Well, we'll do our we can do our waiver last unless you tell me not to. I know we haven't had 11 either.
11, they requested a breakout room for that.
And Judge, please remember you have an add-on calendar.
We do.
I know. Mr. Walker reminded me. It's only 3. I'm gonna be somewhat excited. So we're supposed to have a breakout with 11, waiver on 12. And is that it for the main calendar? No, what happened to position 2?
We still have to do position 2.
Position
Okay.
2 is released.
Oh, yay.
Yes.
Position 2 is released. Good. Any other releases? Didn't sound so excited. Anybody else released? Okay. So deputies, you want me to do who next?
The waive on the main calendar. If not, we can go ahead and proceed with the add-on.
Well, let's do the add-on since they're sitting there, looks like.
Okay. We can do position number 1 on the add-on calendar.
Okay. Jayla Crisp.
Yes.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Your Honor. My request is that we finish the main calendar because it's a different shift of attorneys who do the add-on calendar.
Oh.
So if we could finish the main calendar, reconcile that, and then begin, so we can have a
So
smoother
that's gonna be
transition.
different people. Okay.
Yes,
Sorry
yes,
about that.
please.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, no worries. Let's do number 12, the waiver 24 CR 003242C, Edwin Osborne. Charge of 1 count of giving false name and 2 counts of simple battery. Pre-trial.
Yes, Your Honor, 26 prior arrest cycles and October arrest for aggravated battery with MARTA. It was dismissed. The case number is 23 CP 223375. There was a July 2023 conviction for battery, 2 counts of terroristic threats, a battery in August 2023 in Spalding. There's also a 2023 misdemeanor conviction for battery, theft by shoplifting, and criminal trespass. There's a 2021 misdemeanor conviction for battery. There's also a 2020 misdemeanor conviction for criminal trespass, a 2020 misdemeanor conviction for possession of drug-related objects, a 2019 misdemeanor conviction for hit and run, willful obstruction, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. There is a 2018 misdemeanor conviction for possession of marijuana less than an ounce and fleeing, a 2019 conviction for willful obstruction and possession or sale of marijuana, a 2019 conviction for possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and removal of a weapon from a public place and also willful obstruction, and a 2015 DUI conviction and possession of marijuana. There are 2 FTAs from 2023. There's also appears that the defendant is on probation, serving 4 years in DeKalb County for 2 counts of terroristic threat. The sentence date was July 6, 2023. There appears to be a hold out of Griffin, Georgia for a probation violation, and that warrant date is April 18th, 2024. The defendant meets the criteria for level 3. Nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to the Mechanicsville Library located at 400 Formwall Street, where they met with the victim, Miss Monica Walker. She actually is a security guard at that location. The defendant walked up to her stating that he wanted to hug and kiss her, and then he proceeded to grab her. Law enforcement was called. When he was taken into custody, he provided the false name of Keon, and then he sideswiped the arresting officer. To the count of false name, we're asking for a $500 surety bond. To the 2 counts of simple battery, we're asking for a $1,500 surety bond on each count. That would be a $3,500 total surety bond. A stay away from the Mechanicsville Library. No contact with the victims, Miss Monica Walker and Officer Victoria Hill. And we are basing that recommendation based upon the defendant's lengthy violent criminal history, his FTAs, and probation violations. I'm not sure if Miss Walker is on the line, but we would sound for Miss Monica Walker.
All right, Miss Monica Walker or Victoria Hill. Monica Walker. Don't think so. All right, go ahead, PD Utah.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 31 years old. He has been in Georgia his whole life. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He is struggling with homelessness, Your Honor. I think part of the lengthy history is that, I mean, as you heard, there was an October 2023 case that was dismissed. And then before that, June 2023. So I would say it's been a year that he has not been arrested. The charges here are that, the simple battery is that he went to someone and wanted to hug her. And then the simple battery with the officer stating that while his hands were cuffed behind his back, he sideswiped her buttocks. I don't believe that should be a simple battery. I mean, if the officer is really in control at that point when they're handcuffed behind their back. And again, he does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He's homeless. He is still recommended for a signature bond through pretrial services level 3, although I would prefer a signature bond through the jail, released to the Griffin hold. Reporting to pretrial services would probably set him up for failure. So I would ask for a signature bond through the jail, released to the Griffin County hold. Nothing further. And I'm just asking that signature bond due to the nature of the allegations in the warrant.
So I guess he will be going to Griffin. I will, unless the state tells me differently, I would be inclined to order that $3,500 signature bond through the jail so he can go to Griffin and just put the other conditions there.
Well, it was the state's request for a surety bond because I think I heard at least 2 or 3 other convictions for either simple batteries or batteries. But of course, the court has the final say. But just to be clear, the state is asking for a surety bond due to his extensive violent criminal history. And as far as the simple battery on the officer, I thought I was being nice when I accused the case, but I very easily could have accused this as a sexual battery. But
well, I mean,
no good deed goes undone. But
I would see that. That's interesting when he's handcuffed behind his back and a side swiping of the buttocks. I just don't know.
I mean, whether you're handcuffed or not, you got someone's
the officer is in control when the.
I mean, it's not too late to modify the charge. So I mean, I digress.
But I'm just saying, due to the nature of the allegations that he went to somebody to try to hug them and then the side swiping while
He
his
tried to
hands.
hug and kiss her, a complete stranger. So I don't know if you want a complete stranger walking up on you in the public trying to hug and kiss you that you don't know, but let's not like minimalize his actions because he then proceeded to rub up against the officer's buttocks.
Rub up against with his hands cuffed behind his back.
Okay.
There's no
We're
rub
not, we're not
against.
gonna belabor the
Stop
the
the
facts at the moment. Let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and rule at a $3,500 signature bond through the jail to be released to the Griffin hold. Let's do that. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And stay away from the Mechanicsville Library and 400 Farm Walk. No further contact with the victim, Monica Walker and Victoria Hill.
Okay.
All right.
What was the breakdown, Your Honor?
Oh, I'm sorry. 500 on the false name and 1,500 on each of the 2 counts of simple battery.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.
And then did we do the breakout for position 11, Your Honor?
Oh, yes.
And who are the following people that need to
Can I be added to that one too?
Okay, I got you.
Do I need to be put in the breakout room or
Ms. Washington, I don't know if I think, did you give a history to him already?
if it not?
I mean, if you want to go in there, I have no problem put you in there.
Okay.
Okay,
I just didn't know if they needed it.
I can put you in there. You can always come out.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Position number one was a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. Position number two,
What was, the court's order on position 11?
position number three was a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial level 4. Position number 4 was a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. Position number 5 was a $5,000 good bond reset for SAP. Position number 6 was a $2,500 good bond reset SAP. 7 was a $500 good bond reset SAP. 8 was a $10,000 good bond reset for SAP. 9, $4,500 signature bond through pretrial level 2. 10, $5,500 signature bond through pretrial with a parental cosigner. 11 was a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. 12, $3,500 signature bond through the jail. 13 was a $3,500 signature bond through the jail. 14, $2,500 signature bond through the jail. 15, $2,500 signature bond through the jail. And 16 was a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial level 3.
Okay.
Just one question, Mr. Raymond Young, was it NOD, the theft by receiving stolen property misdemeanor?
So my understanding that was connected to his felony case.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, Mr. Walker, well, we'll see you later.
Okay.
later.
Well, I have
Have
to
a
wait
good
for
weekend.
I have to wait for Deputy Falk to arrive, but she should
There
be
she
here
is.
shortly. Okay. Thank you.
Great.
They
All
will.
right.
right.
Have a good weekend.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hi, Deputy Falk. How are you?
Hey, have a great day, ASG Deciano.
Thank you.
Who do we have first, Deputy?
Position number 1, Miss Chris Jayla.
Okay. 24 CR 003252J, Jayla Crisp, 1 count of battery family violence, pretrial.
This is the defendant's first arrest. Because the defendant is 17 years old, we will need a co-signer, and the defendant meets the criteria for level 1. Nothing further.
Okay. State.
Your Honor, this incident happened May 23rd, 2024 at around 4:55 p.m. at 91 Bromack Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. Miss Crisp and her brother, Mr. Dominique Crisp, had gotten into an argument. The defendant had her phone taken by her brother. She went to retrieve her phone, at which point she pushed him. She then began throwing punches at Dominique Crisp and swinging at him. He then picked her up and slammed her to the ground. As a result of the altercation, the defendant had scratched and bruised the hands of Mr. Dominique Crisp, which he showed as evidence that he had been attacked by Miss Crisp. They do live in the same household. They are brother and sister. We did attempt to reach out to Mr. Dominique Crisp, and we were unsuccessful in reaching him. We did leave a text message informing him of the hearing and requesting a call back, but as of this time, we have not received contact with Mr. Crisp. We would ask for a $3,000 signature bond, or actually, sorry, not an amount, just a signature bond through pretrial services level 1. We would also ask for no further violent contact with Dominique Crisp. We are not objecting to her returning to the household as she is 17, but we would ask for, as pretrial has stated, a co-signer on this, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. That's all for the state.
All right. PD Judd.
Your Honor, we have no objection to a signature bond, but I would still like to go through, just for the record, all the factors for Ms. Crisp.
Okay.
She is 17 years old. She's lived in Georgia her entire life. She's lived at the current address in Atlanta for 11 years. She is a senior in South Atlanta High School. She is planning on going to the Navy for nursing after high school. And just some information that she gave me that seems to be missing from the police report is that Mr. Dominique Crisp unlocked the door to her room in order to steal her phone. As she pushed Mr. Crisp out of her room, he then proceeded to pick her up and drop her. So I'm unsure as to how Mr. Crisp got away without any kind of charges. And also, according to Miss Crisp, her brother ended up pulling a gun on her at some point, and yet that seems to be missing from the police report.
Okay. All right, I will. Do we have the cosigner? Is it the mom or who? Do you have that person available or named?
I have her mother's name. It's Diana Crisp.
All right. I will order a $3,000 signature bond. I guess I'm going to do it through the jail. I thought about pretrial. I want her. She a senior. Did she graduate last week or this week, or is it next year?
She just finished her junior year, Your Honor, so
Oh,
she's
okay,
doing
so she's
a
gonna
senior.
be a senior.
Yes.
Okay, okay. All right. So let's do it through pretrial then. 3,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1. And I want her to take the 1-day anger awareness course for free. She can get that in over the summer.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I want her to obviously finish high school next year or enroll in a GED program. Hopefully she gets her diploma. That's my first preference, obviously.
Yes, Your Honor.
And
she says she's doing well in school, so.
Oh, good. Good to hear that. Then maybe I won't put her on a curfew during the school year if obviously we're gonna resolve this problem and not be back here ever again. I won't put her on a curfew for the summer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just hope that everything works out at home. Does this brother reside there? Because, you know, I'm going to let her go back home, and I'm saying no further violent contact with the mom, with the brother. But the mom, you know, where's the brother going to be?
They do reside in the same household, Your Honor.
How old is he? Do we know?
He's 21, Your Honor, and it's
21.
my understanding that he is on his way out fairly soon.
Hope so, if they can't all reside together in peace. All right, let's try this no further violent contact and see what happens.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Was
All
this, I apologize, Ms. Paul. So was this just a regular pretrial or what? Did she still need the cosigner?
She'll still need the cosign of her mother. She's 17.
What was the mother's name again? Because I marked it out. I'm sorry.
Oh, Diana Crisp.
Okay, thank you.
Y'all not anywhere on it. Who the fuck are y'all?
Okay.
That happened.
It's Friday.
It is. Let's just hope Monday's a little more.
Oh, I don't know. Are you gonna be on Monday too?
I will.
Me too. So we'll see how it goes. See how the weekend goes.
We could have 30 to 60 Monday. Who knows?
Don't say that, Mr.
Well,
Cook.
we had
Well,
40. We had 45 a couple of weeks ago, and this is
I
a holiday
heard.
week. This is a holiday weekend.
But this is a holiday weekend.
Somebody's going to be drinking some beer. Not me, but somebody.
Potentially
It's a drinking holiday.
To potentially reassure everyone, I will be going over the cases on Saturday along with PD Haddad to do any releases.
Okay, see what you can do.
We can go to
Thank you so
position
much.
number 3, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay.
Jackson.
Jackson. Get your ass up. Get up. Come on now. See the judge. See the judge.
This is 24 CR 00325 Roger Quius Jackson, charge of 1 count of battery family violence. Pretrial.
This is the 30th arrest, Your Honor, a 2023 theft by shoplifting out of Fulton County. The defendant is on probation for a probation violation regarding a burglary case. That case number is 17SC 154986. The date of disposition is January 29th, 2018, for 7 years of probation. Also, there is an open case for theft by shoplifting out of Fulton County. The case number is 2300056681. There's a 2022 FTA, a 2021 conviction for criminal trespass, a 2019 FTA, and there appears to be no violent history. The defendant is recommended for level 3. Nothing further.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Just a moment. Okay, so this incident happened back on May 23rd of 2024 at 2610 Metropolitan Parkway Southwest in Atlanta. We do have that the officer responded out to that address, which is the Lucky 7 Food Mart. They spoke with Miss Desiree Brown, who informed the officers that she contacted the police on the same day because she was inside the convenience store when the defendant, who was her significant other of 6 to 8 months, became upset with her because she wanted to end their relationship. She stated that he then choked her with his hands and fled the scene. There were visible injuries to Miss Brown's neck, which the officers were able to capture on body cam. While there were cameras on the property, they did pick up that Mrs. Brown and the defendant entered an area outside of the camera range. However, both of the clerks, 2 individuals, did state that they witnessed the defendant choking Miss Brown. Miss Brown also stated that she believed that the defendant was at a residential complex. The officers then went to that complex and made contact with Mr. Brown. They detained him. He did confess to the police to choking after being read his Miranda rights. He did confess to choking Miss Brown by using his right hand around her neck. He stated he felt he had given her too much in their relationship and she was unappreciative. Also, she stated the 2 have been romantically involved for 8 months, and while they are homeless, they do reside together. Furthermore, he stated that he also attempted to strike her with an open hand, but that she dodged his attempts to strike her. For that reason, as well as the fact that the defendant has quite a lengthy history, 30 cycles, he's currently on probation. We are definitely concerned about the risk of reoffense in this case, as well as the fact that he has, in our opinion, he has enough offenses that he would be a high risk of reoffending as well as a danger to the victim in this case. For that reason, we are asking for a $7,500 surety bond. We are furthermore asking for no further contact with Miss Desiree Brown, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. We are also asking for the FVIP program while he is out on bond. Furthermore, we would ask that he possess no firearms during this time. We would like to sound for Miss Desiree Brown. She was, I will say, she was arrested on a separate incident having nothing to do with this incident. It was a criminal trespass at the Lucky 7 Food Mart, and we did agree on a consent bond on that case. That's all for the state.
All right. PD Judd?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Rodriguez Jackson, he is 33 years old. He's lived in Georgia his entire life. He currently is facing housing issues. He's told me that he's essentially couch surfing from friend to friend right now. Your Honor, he completed through the 11th grade here in Atlanta at Douglas High School. Almost all of his family is here in Georgia. Unfortunately, he does not have any numbers memorized. There's no one that I can call on his behalf as far as a bond contact because of a lack of those numbers. He does have a stable job. He owns his own lawn care business, which brings in enough money that we actually need to further question him to see if he qualifies or not. But he does have 9 daughters. He is not obligated to pay child support to them, but he nonetheless does out of his just out of a feeling of responsibility for his children. Your Honor, he has, if I'm remembering correctly, he has no similar priors, and that's what he's told me, no violent or sexual crimes or anything along those lines. At this point, any sort of bond beyond a signature bond would effectively be no bond for him. He doesn't have anyone that can come and post a bond for him. We are asking for a signature bond today, Your Honor.
Um, I think what I will uh, order is a $4,500 surety bond, 4,500. Stay away from 2610 Metropolitan, the Lucky Food Mart. No further contact with Desiree Brown. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. That's the order of the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was that bond amount, Your Honor?
No.
4,500 surety.
He's trying to go by position. It was
I'm sorry. I don't think he's talking to me.
Next, we can go to position number 4, Mr. Hassan Lowe.
This is 24 CR 003254E. Hassan Lowe, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, 2nd count willful obstruction. Pretrial.
This is the 10th arrest, Your Honor. It looks like there was a criminal trespass and possession of drug-related objects on May 10th of this year. There also appears to be an open case for battery, obstruction, and criminal trespass. That case is 21 CR 005085E. There is also another open case for possession of drug-related objects and criminal trespass. That case number is 24 CR 001438E. And lastly, there appears to be a criminal trespass and obstruction matter out of Fulton County. The case number is 24 CR 002980. And there is a 2018 criminal trespass as well. And the defendant meets the criteria for level 2. Nothing further.
State.
Yes, Your Honor. So the reason the state did not place Mr. Lowe as a person for consent bond is the reasons that Your Honor just heard. He has multiple open cases with us. I believe it's at this point 4 open cases with our office. The most recent being 2 weeks ago. He was just released from jail on May 11th of 2024 and then picked up these new charges on technically he was arrested. He was transported first to Grady, and then he was taken to the Fulton County Jail and is in the Fulton County Jail currently for the new offense of criminal trespass, willful obstruction of an officer. So what I will say is that the state's concern here is that in this situation, he had gone to Harold's Chicken and Ice Bar at Suite B12. He was there. The officers were called out. He had been a suspect for breaking into multiple businesses in the area of 5495 Old National Highway. At that point, the officers ran his information, verified it through a BOLO, and noticed that he had been trespassed from that location in 2023. They did make contact with him. They informed him he had been trespassed from that location. He stated he already knew that information. They did attempt to detain him, but he began walking away from the officers and resisting arrest when officers attempted to detain him. They continued to give him verbal commands. He was resisting. They detained him, placed him in the back of the vehicle. I will say that our concerns here are that the defendant, again, has multiple open cases. He was actually released to PAD back in March of 2024 on a UJR to be released to a PAD representative. I'm not sure what came of that. I will say when I looked for the case in the clerk's record for the incident that just happened 2 weeks ago, I can't see the bond order on that case or what the amount of bond was on that case. So I can't really speak to that issue. I just know, let me see if I can see it. Okay, so it looks like he was given a $2,000 signature bond on that case back in May 11th by Your Honor. According to the notes in the jail system. So we would ask at this point for a $1,000 surety bond. That's going to be $500 per charge. We would also ask that he stay away from Harold's Chicken and Ice Bar, which is located at 5495 Old National Highway in South Fulton. We would further ask that he have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And if Your Honor agrees with this recommendation, we would ask that this case, along with all of his other open cases, be reset to the SAP calendar in 2 weeks. That's all for the state.
All right, BD Jet, or is it Cook? Jet.
It's me, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I would like to state for the record that Mr. Lowe does not qualify for our continued representation, but we are representing him today for the purposes of bond. He is 27 years old. He has lived in Georgia for the past 14 years. He's lived at his current address, which is here in Atlanta, for about 6 years. He is a high school graduate of Lakeside, which is a high school here in Atlanta. His family, including his entire mom's side of the family, is here in Georgia. Your Honor, he has had stable employment for about 5 years, working at a daiquiri bar, which is on Old National. That's why he goes on Old National. And unfortunately, he does keep getting picked up as matching a description, but he does maintain his innocence on those cases, Your Honor. He regularly does volunteer work in the form of street cleanups around his neighborhood. Your Honor, he does maintain that this was simply a misunderstanding, that he noticed that the Harold's Chicken and Ice Bar had an open window and was hoping that by alerting them, maybe that would help alleviate any negative tensions. I have since updated him, and I believe he now understands that that's not how that works, and he just needs to completely stay away from there altogether. But Your Honor, he was honestly just trying to be a good citizen, from what he tells me, and any obstruction was completely accidental. He thought the police were trying to pick him up on the thing that he had just gotten out of jail on, so he didn't intentionally try to run. It's just simply when they said, "You're under arrest," he backed up a couple paces and said, "Hold on, for what? I don't understand what I'm being arrested for." That there was no intent to obstruct or anything along those lines. Your Honor, we are asking that he be considered for a signature bond. I have no bond contact number for him. He doesn't remember any numbers. So at this point, I do believe that anything other than a signature bond would be equivalent to no bond.
All right, I will order the $1,000 surety bond, 500 on each. Stay away from 5495 Old National, Harold's Chicken and Ice Bar. Stay away from there. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that'll be it.
Next, we go to
Yes, Your Honor.
position number 5.
It's in the back. Come on.
This is 24 CR 003253A, DeMarcus Polk, charge of 1 count of criminal trespass, 1 count of battery family violence, and 1 count of simple assault family violence. Pre-trial.
This is a defendant's third arrest. In 2018 in Fulton County, there was a criminal trespass and obstructing or hindering a person from making an emergency phone call, which was dismissed. There's a 2012 aggravated assault, possession of firearm during the commission of a crime, and theft by receiving stolen property that was dead docketed. The defendant meets the criteria for UJR jail. Nothing further.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just trying to, okay. So, Your Honor, this incident happened back on, well, actually this morning at 3 a.m. at 620 Irish Street Southwest in Atlanta. Officers were dispatched there to a person armed with a weapon. They did see when they arrived at that location, they actually saw a black male tussling with a black female around in a vehicle. The black male had a baseball bat and what appeared to be one of her shoes. They detained him. It turned out to be the defendant that they observed actually fighting with the victim and holding a baseball bat. Miss Aubriana Sessions was identified as the victim in that case. She stated that the defendant came to her home to confront her about cheating on him, that they had been dating for 3 years and have lived together for a year and a half, and that when he confronted her at the location, a male came outside and, according to Mr. Polk, started shooting at him. When officers looked around the scene, they did not see any shell casings, any proof that a weapon had been discharged during that time. According to Miss Sessions, she'd come to that location to hang out with her friend, Miss Jones. And after about an hour of hanging out, she and Miss Jones stated that the defendant was banging on the front door, acting irate. She stated she walked out of the front door. The defendant swung a wooden bat at the front door where she was, and then grabbed her and pushed her to the ground. At some point during this altercation, the defendant damaged a mailbox with a wooden bat that belonged to Ari Jones, and officers were shown a video that of the defendant swinging a wooden bat at the door, pushing Miss Sessions on the ground, and the video was also captured on the officer's body-worn camera. Miss Sessions did have a road burn or abrasions to her right elbow. She stated she had back pain from the incident. And although she refused to go with Grady, I will say it's very telling that she has taken out a temporary protective order. That case number is 2024 PO 02080-10. She took that out in Clayton County. We have asked the jail to serve that, and we would ask that service of that temporary protective order on that defendant be done prior to his leaving the jail, so that we can ensure he understands that he is to have no more contact whatsoever with Aubriana Sessions. Given the nature of this case, we did look up that previous case of criminal trespass family violence. That case, although it was dismissed, involved another female damaging her property, as well as preventing her from making a 911 emergency call. This incident happened in front of witnesses who are not, it's not a he said, she said. It happened in front of other witnesses and was videotaped and shown to the officers. Miss Sessions has indicated she is clearly in fear of this defendant, as evinced by the fact that she took out a temporary protective order against him today to make sure he had no contact with her again. For that reason, the state is asking for a $5,000 surety bond. We're also asking that he stay away from 560 New Morn Drive in McDonough. That is her current address, as well as he have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. He take an FBIP course, and that he have no firearms whatsoever. We also ask for no further contact whatsoever with Miss Aubriana Sessions. And she also, as part of the TPO, did ask that he have no contact with a minor child. The minor child's name is KC, excuse me. And we would ask that he have no contact with that minor child as well. We would at this time like to sound for Miss Aubriana Sessions, and the division of that bond, Your Honor, would be $4,000 on the family violence battery and $500 each on the criminal trespass and damage to property. That's all for the state.
All right. PD Judge.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, first, Mr. Polk doesn't qualify for continued representation, but we will represent him today for the purposes of bond. Your Honor, Mr. Polk is 33 years old. He's lived in Georgia his entire life. In fact, he's lived at that New Morn address for 4 years. It's my understanding that he actually lives there with his mother. I believe the incident location is not the New Morn. So I'm not sure if that was maybe some sort of mistake happened there, but it's my understanding that New Morn address is his mother's address where he lives with her. So this is not Miss Sessions' address at all. Your Honor, he is a graduate of Titson County High School. He went to DeFort Valley State University here in Georgia. He got his associate's degree in criminal justice. His entire family lives here in Georgia, and as I just stated, he lives with his mother. You know, I do understand that there was that similar prior, but as has already been stated, that case was dismissed. and I would argue are not similar. Any alleged damage to property here did not happen to Miss Sessions' property as allegedly happened in the prior one. Your Honor, he doesn't have any convictions for any violent crimes. He has no allegations or convictions of sexual crimes. He has been a City of Atlanta employee for the past 3 years. He regularly coaches Little League football. It's my understanding, and I didn't hear anything to the contrary unless I missed it. He doesn't have any failure to appears. He's not on probation or parole. Your Honor, he is fine with a stay away order from the incident location, but that is not the Newmorn address. The two are currently sort of financially chains. They have cars in each other's name, and bills and things along those those lines. So I think at least in terms of figuring that out, there needs to be some contact, but maybe no personal contact, maybe only phone contact or through a third party, through a third party. Your Honor, he does maintain that he was being shot at, and that's the only reason he got the bat out of his car, because he recently had a friend die from gun violence, and so was not going to go into a situation where someone's shooting at him without at least something. Your Honor, we're asking for a signature bond today. He does maintain his innocence on this case, his presumption of innocence, and so we're asking for a signature bond.
And Your Honor, I would like to clarify, the address is 1029 Briarberry Lane in Riverdale. So that was an error on the state's part. I just wanted to correct that for the record. I also wanted to point out that there is a TPO that we are asking that be served, and we are asking that be a part of the court's order that TPO be served before he leave the jail. I have already sent it to the jail staff. If Sergeant Norris is there today, I have already sent it to Sergeant Norris. Oh, it looks like he got it. Great. So the TPO, thank you, Sergeant Norris.
Yeah.
The TPO ensures that he can't have contact of any sort, even through a third party. So at this point, asking for any kind of contact would be just automatically setting this defendant up to violate the TPO. And so for that reason, we ask that there be no contact whatsoever.
All right. I'm going to, and you also stated PD Judd, he's working for the city?
Yes, Your Honor. He works as an equipment operator, and he's had that job for about 3 years.
And Your Honor, we would also like to add that he stay away from that incident location since he has no reason to be there as well. That is the address at, let's see, 620 Irish Street, Southwest.
He has no problem with that, Your Honor.
All right, I'll give him a chance here. I'm going to order the $5,000 signature bond through the UJR, I guess through the jail, because he's already gotten the TPO now. So I'll do the 5,000 through the jail. That'll be 4,000 on the battery, family violence, and 500 on the criminal trespass and the simple assault.
Wait,
total.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. 4,000 on the battery and 1,000 and 1,000.
No, 500 and 500. So a total of 5. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Nope, I might have said that too. It's late. Been a long afternoon. So a total of 5,000, 4,000 on the battery, 500 on criminal trespass, and 500 on simple assault equals 5. I'm going to order a stay away from the 620 Irish Street. And again, a stay away from the 1029. What is it?
That's Briarberry Lane.
No further contact with Aubriana Sessions. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And obviously adhere to all the terms and conditions of the temporary protective order that he was served with today.
And Your Honor, we would just like to object to a signature bond on this case. We do have concerns for the victim's safety. We would also like to state that we would like the bond to encompass the minor child KC as well, as does the temporary order, just so there's completeness across the board.
Yeah, thank you. I forgot about that. And so, and also no further contact with the minor KC.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is that CASEY? Casey?
No, it's just K.C. It's a minor child, so I don't put on the record their full name, but
Understood.
the defendant did receive that as part of the TPO, the child's full name.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Next, we can go to the last position, which is position number 2.
All right. 24 CR 0032518, Kwame Garcia, 1 count of battery family violence. Pretrial.
This is the third arrest, Your Honor. There's a 2023 simple battery, which was dismissed, a 2015 theft by shoplifting, a 2015 possession of marijuana. The defendant is recommended for level 1, nothing further.
All right.
You got it?
State.
Yes, Your Honor. It appears that that simple battery that was later dismissed, just wanted to take a look at the victim on that case. Let's see. It appears the victim in that case was Sienna Anthony, which is the same victim we have on this case today, Your Honor. So this incident happened yesterday at 9:45 p.m. at 2800 MLK Junior Drive Southwest in Atlanta. Officers were dispatched out to that location in reference to a domestic dispute. They spoke with Miss Anthony. She advised that the defendant had injured her when he shoved her to the ground. Officers did observe visible injuries to Miss Anthony's lip, and she complained that her tooth was hurting. She also advised that she and the defendant live together and have a child together. Miss Anthony identified the defendant, who was standing at the entrance of the apartment. When spoken to, the defendant stated that he felt that she was harassing him, grabbing his shirt as he was sitting down, and so he pushed her, and that she landed on the ground as a result to the push. He also advised that they lived together. Ms. Garcia was able to show the officers a video on her phone, and they allowed her, the officers did view the video, and it showed the defendant standing in front of a sitting, it showed Miss Anthony standing in front of a sitting Mr. Garcia, and it also showed the defendant grab her arm and forcibly take her to the ground, in contradiction to his claims of self-defense. And so for that reason, as well as the fact that there has been a previous incident involving these two, the state would ask for a $3,000 surety bond. We would ask for no further contact with Miss Garcia. We have spoken with Miss Garcia. I will just say she stated that they have been on and off for approximately 4 years, that they do have a 3-year-old son. They do have a domestic violence history. She did cite to this incident that happened in 2022, and that she is not afraid of him, but he has an anger problem. She initially said she wanted no contact with her and her son, but then did change and call back and say she was okay with contact. However, given the fact that less than 24 hours has passed in this situation, Your Honor, and there is previous domestic violence history, we would ask for no further contact with him at this time. We would also ask that he stay away from the address located at 2800 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive Southwest. We ask that he have family violence intervention program, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and particularly no firearms. That's all for the state.
All right. PD Judd.
Your Honor, we had to conflict off of Mr. Kwame Garcia. We've represented the complaining witness, Miss Sienna Anthony, on a current open case. I'm not sure if a conflict attorney was ever provided, but we cannot represent him.
Nope, we didn't get that information.
Okay, Ms. Lewis, I don't know what we're gonna do. When was Kwame Garcia? He was arrested today.
He was arrested yesterday at 9:45 p.m. So Your Honor could always advise him that he will be reset to Monday. According to the statute, and I don't know if I'll get pushback on this or not, but according to the statute and case law, which I can provide the court, it's only required that he have a first appearance, that he meet with the judge, and that the judge advise him of any hearing dates, not that he be given a bond at this time. And so that criteria has been met at this point, and Riverside would no longer be an issue. Riverside goes to actually meeting the judge, not getting a bond.
I think that's correct. Riverside has to do with the first appearance part of the proceeding.
Right.
Now, whether we'll get a conflict attorney on the holiday, I don't know. I know occasionally we've offered people the opportunity to represent themselves per se. I hate to ask that unless the state is inclined towards this. I don't know I wasn't listening to the details here, but unless the state is inclined toward a signature bond, where he could get out today. If not, he's going to stay all weekend. So.
And I am sympathetic to the situation, but I also have to take into recognition the fact that this defendant does have a previous case with the victim, Miss Sienna Anthony, and for that reason, the state is unwilling at this point to offer anything less than a surety bond.
All right, PD Chat. Anything else?
I mean, Mr. Judd may disagree with me on the first appearance, but I do think it's just if he appears and he's notified of the charges, that meets the Riverside.
And my reading of Riverside is that as well. And most courts, including almost all courts in Georgia, combine a first bond hearing with the first appearance, but that's not necessarily required by the law.
Right. All right. We don't have a conflict defender for you, Mr. Garcia, so we're going to have to reschedule you till Monday. Hopefully, Miss Lewis and Miss Strong, will you all send out an email, or Miss Lewis, will you maybe?
Well, we didn't have none available today per
you didn't.
supervisor. We tried to get it, we got the email quite late, and then we did try to reach out today, but nobody responded in a time enough manner.
Right. Cross my toes with you for Monday.
That's correct.
But if you know of a couple of them, you don't mind if we can send an email today to see if someone can.
We'll cover that. We'll send it out. Hopefully somebody will answer.
Okay. All right. We'll reconcile, Casey.
Position number 1 was a $3,000 signature bond through a pretrial with a parental co-signer. Position number 2 is reset for the 28th. Oh, I'm sorry, the 27th. I'm sorry. Position number 3 was a $4,500 good bond reset SAP. Position number 4 was a $1,000 good bond reset for SAP. And position number 5 was a $5,000 signature bond through the jail.
Yep. All right. That's it. Nothing else.
What was position 4? I'm sorry.
A $1,000 good bond.
Okay, thank you.
All right. We'll see some people Monday. I don't know if you're going to be allowed. What question do you have, Mr. Garcia?
Can I represent myself per se?
I mean, Your Honor, he does have the right to if he wishes.
You understand the consequences of that?
I understand.
I guess we'll do it real quick. And
Your Honor, I've already put my recitation of facts and my recommendation on the record.
Right. All right. And you heard the state's recommendation, correct, Mr. Garcia?
No, I did not.
You did not hear the state's recommendation. Let me have Deputy Falk to read that one more time, just the recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor. State's recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond. Stay away from 2800 MLK Junior Drive Southwest. No further contact with Sienna Anthony, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and particularly no firearms. We also, I believe, requested FVIP as part of that, which is Family Violence Intervention Program. It is a 24-week program for family violence.
Okay. And so, Mr. Garcia, if you're going to represent yourself, I've got a few questions that I would need to ask you that normally your attorney would present. How old are you?
29.
Oh, I do see the victim is on the call.
Yes, Your Honor, she is. Miss Sienna Anthony is here.
All right, Miss Anthony, let me have you to give a statement first, if you would like to address the court or not.
I wouldn't like to address the court.
You say you would or would not?
I wouldn't.
Would not. Okay. All right. You can mute yourself. Thank you for your time. All right, Mr. Garcia, how old are you?
I'm 29 years old.
All right. Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
I work for a company called Orion Transit. I do non-emergency medical transport. I transport senior citizens, handicapped people, disabled people to and from their destinations.
How long have you been doing that?
I started in October, and then started in October.
Okay. And are you from Georgia?
Not originally, but I moved here in 2005.
You have family here?
Yes, ma'am. My mother, my father, aunts, and uncles.
Graduate from high school?
Yes, ma'am. I graduated from North Atlanta, class of 2013.
All right. And you have children? I think you have what, a 3-year-old son with Miss Garcia?
I have a 3-year-old son with Miss Anthony, and
Miss
also
Anthony.
raising a 1-year-old together as well.
You all have a 1-year-old and the 3-year-old together?
And we're raising a 1-year-old, but he's not biologically mine.
Okay, the 1-year-old is her son.
Correct.
And you all reside together?
Correct. I'm the main provider in the household. I pay all the bills. But we do reside together.
All right, so I am concerned that this is your second case with Miss Garcia.
I understand. I do agree with the intervention program, and the no contact, but I would like to request a signature bond.
All right, I'm going to deny your request for a signature bond. I want to make sure that Miss Anthony is going to be safe. And
Your Honor, my apologies. I do not mean to interrupt, but I want to make sure to clarify this for the record. The information that I received was as to a different individual changing their mind about contact, not Miss Anthony. So Miss Anthony had requested no contact, stay away. So, and she has maintained that. So my apologies. I had seen a update from another victim note and had switched
thank you for
those.
that. Right. Let me change that then. So again, the victim witness services of the Solicitor General's office has spoken to Miss Anthony. And so she is expressing no further contact with you at this time. And we also want to make sure that there's been the ample cooling off period with this incident so that we don't have any future incidents. So what I'm going to do on this case is order a $2,500 surety bond with this case in order you to stay away from, what is it, 2800 MLK?
Yes, Your Honor.
And no further contact with Miss Garcia.
Your Honor, that's Sienna Anthony.
Anthony, I keep saying that, I'm sorry.
Not a problem.
Sienna Anthony, no further contact with her right now. I'm going to order, is the son mentioned as a victim or not?
The son is not mentioned as a victim, but Miss Anthony has asked that he have no contact at this time with IA, which is the son's first and last initials.
All right.
Your Honor, the place of residence is my apartment. Mr. Anthony's just staying there.
I know, until we can figure out where she's going to go and give her time to vacate, you speak to, you need to hire a private attorney probably to speak to them in order to do a motion to modify the bond. But right now I'm going to order you not to go back there until we get a modification request or she informs the victim witness advocate that she has moved from that location. We want her and the child to be safe, actually both of her children to be safe right now. This incident just happened, so we want to make sure that there's been the cooling down period. So you're ordered to stay away from that location, to have no further contact with Miss Anthony, nor IA, or any, I guess, the one other child, to have no further contact with them. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. It's just a $2,500 surety. All right. Okay. That should be it, Ms. Strong.
Got it.
All right, we can reconcile, I believe.
$2,500 good bond on Mr. Garcia, reset for SAP 66.
Okay. All right, that's it.
All right, thank you.
Anything
Your
else?
Honor.
Thank you. All right, see you all Monday.
No, just to let the group know, and I'm sure you've already been told, we are restarting Saturday SEA on Saturday, June 1st.
No.
Oh,
that's a
no,
definite
we
thing.
did not know that it was
No,
starting.
we did not know that.
So I did not mean to spring that
You
on
are the
everyone.
bearer
I thought
of
I was
bad news.
yes.